All right, thank you for joining us today. Unafraid, right or wrong. Today it's not just me. Back with my man Joey Heim at Joey Heim, JoeyHaim. Okay, so here's what's going on. So there has been so much talk about about race relations and all this when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, when it comes to now Michael Bennett. There's been Adam Jones and
ooh, I hate Adam Jones.
Bet you do.
He's a dick. Come on, black or white, he's an asshole.
Okay,
making it rain in the club, all that. He's
okay.
We'll go.
So what actually sparked a lot of this conversation that's been going on is, so Michael Bennett is a Seahawks player. He was a really good player, and so he was in Vegas for the Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight, and he details an incident that happened where he was drugged to the ground by the police, guns drawn on him. He said it was excessive force, and and so and Colin Kaepernick, he tweeted it out, and other people have been going in on it. And for me, I thought it was very, very ironic, right? I thought it was very ironic, and it's incredible to me, like, how many people want Michael Bennett's story not to be true. I mean, it is a clear opportunity that people use to we have the narrative that we want to paint, which is, he must have been doing something wrong. If you aren't doing anything wrong, then nothing bad will happen to you with the police. Well, that is a lie, and it has been a lie for since the beginning of time. I mean, it's true for some white people, it is true for black people, it is true for all people of color as well. And I was troubled when I got on social media and I saw how many people were saying, wait, this story can't be true. This story can't be true. And then Joey texts me and I'm like, what the hell do you think about this?
Well, I didn't say it can't be true. What I said was, let's wait to see how it plays out. Because here's the problem with Michael Bennett saying that. He knows that it's going to incite outrage from the black community. So whether it's true or not, let's just wait for more details to come on. So this morning I woke up, bad back and all, went downstairs and I saw that cop in Las Vegas who said, you know what, this isn't exactly, it didn't go exactly how he said it is. We have some proof. So that's all that I was saying yesterday when I got on that Colin Kaepernick tweet. I was saying, and a lot of other people were saying the same thing. Even some black people were saying the same thing. Hey, let's wait for this to play out before everybody goes crazy. And that's what I'm saying. And you know what? There is a chance that what he said happened. But we didn't even know at the time that what if the suspect was a 6'8", 245-pound black dude?
Okay. Here's the thing, is that you have to understand and you have to realize and know and admit, right?
Yeah.
That black people are more profiled to be dangerous. People are afraid of you, right, and all this. And I talked about a situation that happened to me in normal life, right? So you've known me for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And I just found it I've had incidents where I've been coaching sports, right? Yeah. And you know how sometimes coaches, they yell at each other, screaming, all this stuff, cursing at each other.
I know where this is going.
Cursing at each other, right? George Reister gets upset one time and I get called into the board and it's like, oh wait, hold on, everybody was terrified of you. They were scared you were going to punch them. What the hell? I mean, it is just phenomenal to me how when I get upset as a big black man, that all of a sudden now everybody's terrified, but then they're not upset when Joe Blow Blue Eyes gets upset.
I agree with you 1,000% on that one, because I now serve on that board, and your father and I had a huge conversation one time, and I see how things are run, and I got the shit beaten out of me by cops before too. I know what it's like. I'm a white dude. It was an overzealous sergeant who was a little steroid motherfucker who came after me, broke my arm. So it's not always a white or black thing. But let me ask you a question. You and I are at the airport, okay? Let's say we're at LAX, and a report comes out, and they said, oh, some jihad motherfucker has a bomb strapped to his waist, who are they going to come after, me or you?
They're coming after you more likely than
they ain't coming after you.
Correct. However, people who are Muslim, all this stuff, they fall into the people of color category, and no, they are profiled in certain situations.
If you can grow your beard like me, then you got problems. But for now, if we were in LAX and there was a bomb threat and they said it was some jihad guy, I would be on the ground so fast.
I love how we like to use these one-off situations, right? But I'm just talking about general life because there's this idea, right, that people have. They're like, oh, everything's fine, everything is normal. We've had a black president, everything is cool, right? But the reality of the situation is that segregation and all that ended on paper, on the laws, less than 50 years ago.
Okay.
So you have so many of these people that are still in power, right?
Yep.
That were those 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds in those pictures throwing stuff at people and all that. Those are the people who are in power right now. So now people are upset and they want change. They're demanding change because now you have some younger people who have some influence and sway in the situation as well. So the idea that just because laws changed in books, that laws changed on paper, that doesn't mean that things are actually different out in the world.
Yeah, you watch the show on A&E First 48 Hours?
Yeah.
Who is killing who in that show all the time?
There are people of color killing other people of color the majority of the time.
Okay. That's what I love about George, because George, black or white, he will tell it as it is. He doesn't see things like, oh, it's all black, it's all white. And I don't want to have to preface everything by saying not every black guy or not every white guy.
Yeah.
So why is that? I don't understand why are black men killing black men? It's black men, it's not black women. Why are they killing each other?
Oh my God. I'm so happy that you asked that question, right? Yeah. Okay. So here is where we have to take into account history, right?
Okay.
Is that you have to account and really understand what went on during slavery and all that. So a people, right? So Africans were ripped from their country. Some of them died on the way here.
Right.
Families were split up. They would...
What are we talking about, the 1800s, 1700s?
Yeah. 15, 1600s. And then even all the way through the early 1800s. Like, you had families that were split up. And so fathers were removed from the homes. Mothers were sent other places. So the family dynamic in the black community has been destroyed. And then when you even
You think that's what it is?
No, hold on.
Okay.
So when you take that, right? And then when the nuclear family has been destroyed, and then you have black people who were divided amongst black people because you had the light-skinned people who were allowed to work in the house. And then you had the dark-skinned people who were relegated to working in the fields. So then you had the division amongst black people, right?
Wait, the dark-skinned worked in the fields?
Correct. Yeah. And the light-skinned people worked in the house.
This is the first I heard this, but it's very interesting.
So you have this division amongst black people, right? And there's no family structure.
Is it still there?
Huh?
Is it still there, you think?
Yes.
I think. Yes, I agree.
Oh yeah. Because you hear the discussion about the good hair versus the nappy hair,
right.
And then it's our light skinned guys in style, dark skinned guys in style. So there's this common division just amongst people of color, amongst black people already.
But let me say something real quick.
Okay.
Your mom is light skinned.
Yes, she's more light.
Your dad's dark skinned.
Yeah.
Your wife is your ex-wife is light skinned.
Yeah,
And your wife
both
now,
my kids' moms,
right, is light skinned.
Yep.
So you know what you speak of.
Yeah.
Right. But you're not like that. That's a funny thing. Like finish what you're gonna say, and then I'll go.
So when you look at how much black people have been divided through history, right? And then there's the Jim Crow laws and all this. So there's been so much going on within our families and in our community, right? So it takes a long time to undo what was done. Because
how much longer is it gonna take?
What see is that we look at things through a keyhole, right? A keyhole in time. So it took hundreds of years to break up the family, right? To break up, and institutionalize, and put in a system in place that divided a whole people, right? It's not going to take 20, 30, 40, 50 years to fix it. And a lot of that fixing it, I will admit, like, we have to stop killing ourselves, right?
Yes, number one.
That we have to stop killing ourselves.
What about calling each other nigger? Does that bother you? It bothers me. I don't know why. I'm a white dude, and it bothers me.
See, I grew up in a, I'm younger. I'm only 36. So,
see how you get that in?
So this was, for me and my kind of age group, like, it's more used as like an ethnic colloquialism. Like we're like a term of endearment between...
I understand that, but white people see that, and they think that there's a lack of respect there. Like... I understand rap songs, whatever, but black people calling it's not helping the cause. I don't think. I
would tend to agree with you, right? Because my wife doesn't like I use the term. My mom gets upset about it. Sister sometimes, and it is. And I don't know if I would feel comfortable if my son started, using that amongst their friends. Because I want people to be doing better, right? I want us as a people to be doing better.
We're agreeing right now on everything.
And this is where, like, Jewish people, because you're a Jewish, that they've done an excellent job, right? So when you look at what happened with the Holocaust, right? Is that Jews were killed, like they were trying to eviscerate the whole race.
Some people say it was fake, by the way.
Which those are the same people that say that climate change is fake too. So they are.
Irma, by the way, peace to all of our people out there in Florida. This storm is a son of a bitch, man. And Jose's right behind.
Oh, for sure.
And my grandpa, my father-in-law's name. Sorry,
it's always so, and it's always interesting to me, right? So when we look at what happened to Jewish people, right? So there wasn't the division amongst the Jewish community. And what you guys do really, really well is you guys recycle your own dollars, right? Is that Jewish people do business with other Jewish people.
Like gays are number one, right? Yeah. Gays help gays out. Not exactly. That I would know, but
yeah. So that's where their go-to is, right? And black people got turned amongst themselves so much is that instead of giving people an equal shot, right? Which is what you should be doing, is saying, you know what? I have a job. I need to hire X person. I need to hire an accountant. Let me find the best accountant possible, right?
Right.
So instead of that, what has happened is in our community, we say we actually trust people of other races more than we trust ourselves, which is phenomenal, right? So would you say that in the Jewish community that Jewish people would tend to trust a Jewish person before they would trust somebody else?
Yeah, I would say that. But black people use black lawyers a lot, I think, too. Like the Johnny Cochrans and the what's that guy's name? I can't remember his name. But I know what you're saying. Like, how many black accountants are there? I don't even. Do you know any?
There are a lot. There are a lot. But the thing about it is that when it comes to some of these trust positions, right?
Yeah.
We tend to not just trust other people more. We tend to mistrust ourselves. And this goes to the racial profiling, right? So,
do you think racial profiling sometimes is necessary?
No.
Never. Not if you're getting on a plane.
Oh, no. So, I will tell you this. I am less afraid, right? I am not afraid of somebody getting on the plane with a burqa, right? I am more afraid, like, to be perfectly honest, of a domestic terrorist. I'm more of afraid of a terrorist that looks like me and you because you can't spot them out.
But if I was detained at an airport and somebody, they told me, hey, you look like a terrorist, whatever, there was a bomb threat, somebody called in a bomb threat, then I would understand. I wouldn't be upset. But I want to go back to the whole Michael Bennett thing. We don't know what if they said the suspect was 6'4", 270 pounds, and there's Michael Bennett. Not every, the NFL is a sport played with helmets, and these guys, nobody knows any. I couldn't really tell you what Michael Bennett looked like.
Yeah.
Or Martellus,
He looks like a homeless black man. Like he's got a big old beard, scruffy beard, and an afro. Like he looks unkempt. Like he does not look like a.
So you blame them for detaining him? I mean, I don't know what happened, why they pulled out the gun. Hopefully, I mean, I don't. Listen, there are some cops that are assholes. There's no two ways about it. And there's, being a cop is not an easy job.
I would totally agree.
Right. You can't always, you can't be nice and ask questions later. I've seen too many guys being shot, white, black. There are, like, the whole hands up, don't shoot. Yeah. That whole narrative. Do you believe that? Their witnesses recanted their stories that he didn't walk away saying, hands up, don't shoot.
Okay. Here's the thing, right?
But the guy, what's the name of the guy in New York? Eric Brown? Was it the guy?
Eric Garner.
Right, that said I can't breathe?
Yeah.
All right, that cop should rot in hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, that's where the whole outrage in this situation is about bad police officers, right? Because I wholeheartedly believe that police officers are good people trying to do the right things.
Yep.
You do have criminals that have badges.
Yep.
So
I know some.
Yeah. So when you look at it's not the fact that these incidents happen, like Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, whatever they are, right? It's less consequential about that the incident happened than the actual result of what happened.
Right.
In terms of there was no prosecution, there was no conviction in the Eric Garner case, which was completely. I mean, it was just insanely just wrong, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the outrage comes when it comes to the police and when it comes to the judicial system is when there's no positive result in terms of a conviction or something for something that you know is wrong. And then when people sit up and defend it and they're like, maybe if he had just complied with the officer. I've been in situations with white people where we've had interactions with the police, and white people go hard on the police. They're like, "Yo, F you, copper."
Oh yeah. And while it's happening, you're saying,
yes,
absolutely. I
know. If you're black and you do that, you'll get shot. I mean, so that's why it's phenomenal to me when people say, when they use this narrative that they say, oh, well, if you just comply, nothing bad will happen. Some of these people did comply. Some of them didn't. Some of them did.
Right. It depends on the person, and everything it goes on a case to case basis. Like the whole O.J. Simpson thing. Like what did we argued about that yesterday?
Yeah.
I told you nobody knew O.J. Simpson was this domestic wife beater before the case came out.
No, I mean
that shocked all of us.
The police knew, and had it been 2017 in social media, you have a pretty better idea of what your athletes and who they really are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because if Steph Curry, who has a squeaky clean image and all that,
and he's light skinned.
Yeah. If he were out partying at night, getting hookers and all that stuff, would you agree that would come out pretty quickly?
Oh, not in this day and age, absolutely.
Yeah. So you have to believe that that he is, kind of at least in the general vicinity of what his public perception is.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you look at Michael Bennett, he's out in the world. His public perception is he's a tell it like it is. He's a father. He loves his kids.
I think he's a troublemaker.
Why would you think he's a troublemaker?
By the way, sorry about the whole Facebook Live. We're trying to fix it because he's not as bad as his brother Martellus.
What about them as troublemakers?
Because by all accounts, on the Dallas Cowboys, the stuff that Martellus Bennett said wasn't true.
He was a rookie and he was a turd when he was a rookie. Yeah. I didn't like Martellus Bennett when he was a rookie because
he was lazy. I remember him on the Cowboys. Yeah. We're Cowboy fans, but he was lazy and I think
lazy and a liar are two different things. So the thing is, we're not talking about Martellus. We're talking about Michael.
But Michael, if this happened to George Reister and it was the same story, I would have tended to believe it more. I just think that Black America got into such a big uproar. Let a little bit more facts come out. Because like I said, now the cop came out this morning in Vegas, the sergeant in Vegas, and he said, we're looking into it, but from what Michael Bennett said, that is not the story that we have. So
of course it's not the story that you have.
I know how the cops are. Listen, I got beat up by a bunch of cops. They beat the shit out of me. So my lawyer made me do all the work, by the way. Thanks, Rich DeBro. So I read 30 accounts of, they all have to file a police report. There are 30 officers there. There's a huge thing on Sepulveda Rinaldi and Sepulveda Ventura across from Cheesecake Factory. The cop broke my arm. So of the 30 reports that I read, 28 of them were bullshit. 2 of them told the truth. That I was cooperating, I wasn't swearing. One cop said I spit on the cop. Another cop said I got in the car. Fuck you, motherfucker! Like, some of them are assholes. The 2 guys, and I still remember one of his names was Appleby. I ran into him afterwards. I gave him a hug. I said, dude, just so you know, I read all the police reports. I can't thank you enough, even though you're in the minority. You said exactly what happened. He goes, dude, what I saw is what happened, and nobody's going to ask me to change a police report. So I get it. Some cops are assholes, but my point yesterday, Colin Kaepernick, who's trying to strengthen his case by retweeting the letter, just let more facts come out. Let's not all
here's the thing. I will agree, right? I will agree that people of color, especially black people, sometimes are hypersensitive about situations.
Yes,
but
they deserve to be sometimes. I
understand. Yeah, exactly. So, but you would be able to. You would be more willing to let these things play out, right?
Yes.
If there was actually a result on the back end of like there has been no precedent of anything happening. I mean, even in South Carolina.
Well, no, that one guy that chased the black dude and shot him, that guy got convicted.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one time.
But cops always are. Even when cops kill white dudes, these guys always get protected. It's hard to put away a cop, even if you have it on tape. But it's not just black guys. I don't know how to explain it.
See, but the reason why black people are so sensitive about it is because in your normal everyday life, right?
Right.
In my normal everyday life, like I'll give you an example. I was in the NFL. I was a rookie in the NFL. There was a girl I was dating. And when I had met her grandparents before, and her grandmother, we were out like at a little dinner thing, right? Grandmother didn't, I think she knew it was me, and I was kind of sitting by her. She did one of these numbers.
My grandma.
She did one of.
I know.
She did one of these numbers. I'm like, lady, I got more money than you.
My grandma, God rest her soul. I love you, Baba. She was Romanian, and because in Romania there's no black people.
Yeah.
So when you come out here, she'd be 105 now. She loved everybody, but she was a little bit leery of like my friend DeAndre Lotier came over in 5th grade. And when I asked her, my parents weren't around. When I asked her, can my friend come over? So she assumed that some white dude was going to come over. When he walked through the door, she was like, oh! Yeah. She got so scared. So
see, but that's what I'm saying is that goes back to the racial profiling thing, right? So, and I do understand that white people get profiled on some level, right? So like you can get profiled with the beard, you can get profiled if you have tattoos, long hair, some of these things. Like if you look a certain way, then people generally assume some things about you, right?
Right. No
matter how you're dressed or whatever. The problem is when you're a black guy, you get profiled even when if I'm not in a suit. Like if I'm not in business casual or better clothing, then I can be assumed. No matter whether my facial hair looks like Martellus Bennett or whether I look like Michael Vick.
Right. It is a fact of life. It is.
Yeah. But that's where the trouble comes in.
But I also think that the crime rate, with blacks killing blacks, like it's like brought amongst themselves too. You know what I mean? Like it's not. You live over here in where can I say you live in the valley? Yeah, in a nice part of the valley.
Yes, I live in a nice part of the valley.
So if a cop comes up here, it's going to be differently than if he went over to the hood in Crenshaw or something. That you're going to get treated differently, I think.
As soon as they know that you belong here, because I've been pulled over in this area. And as soon as they find out that you live in this area, they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know you were from around these parts." You know what I mean? So that's where some of the trouble comes in. Is you're like, "Wait, hold up! You didn't stop anybody else to make sure they belonged over here."
Yeah, I mean, but it's never going to change. It's never until it's not going to change in our lifetime.
But part of making it change is though that people actually have to acknowledge it and be willing to say, "You know what? Yeah, this is this is wrong, and that this is real and this is happening.
But black people also have to acknowledge it. Like I don't like Black Lives Matter.
Why not?
Because that one lady, did you see what she said? That the white people owe reparations to every black person. Give up your house. Did you see that a couple weeks ago?
So you are against people saying because see, here's the thing about Black Lives Matter is that people have turned this into like the when they talk about it.
And I hate Antifa too, by the way. Just let me know.
They've turned this into a group, right? Black Lives Matter is not an organization. Black Lives Matter is an idea and a thinking.
No, but it is an organization.
No, it's not. No. There's no membership to Black Lives Matter.
They go in March. They go. There's where's Black Lives Matter helping out in Houston? There's Black Lives Matter protesting against the KKK.
Okay, here's the.
Did you hear what that lady said though?
I don't. Listen. Oh,
she's the head of the BLM.
Oh no, there's no head of the BLM.
There's a movement.
Here's the.
Who's organizing the rallies?
I love
Who's organizing the rallies?
Joey, I love this, right?
Yeah.
Because we take something that one person said, right?
Right.
And somebody who was outrageous and didn't speak for everybody, right? And then we're like, see, that's what that group thinks, right? However, when it comes to white people, if you have a Dylan Roof or you have a Timothy McVeigh or you have any other of these domestic terrorists or any of these KKK white supremacist people, then they're like, no, that's just a crazy person. They don't speak for us.
But if that lady would have said something completely different, we're all about peace and love, whatever, then I would take it more seriously. But when she said that, every white person should give up their. All right, let me ask you about slavery. Can we talk about slavery?
Hold on, let's finish this and then we can go into that. The idea though that this lady said that Black Lives Matter, that white people should give up their homes and all this stuff. That's absolutely ludicrous and outrageous.
But it means I agree with you. But her saying that, how does that help?
One person saying that doesn't make it true.
She's like one of the main organizers.
No, there's not because Black Lives Matter is not an organization. Like it's not like the NAACP. It's not like the ACLU. It's not like any of these places. It is an idea. It's a concept that just says to people, you know what? That we need to value Black lives the same way that we value other lives. And people get upset about saying, oh, well, how come you don't say all lives matter? How come you don't say white lives matter or this or that, right? Because white lives matter. History has shown us that white lives matter. And the other thing about it is that my grandmother died from multiple myeloma, cancer, right? And so if I do a cancer march for multiple myeloma, that doesn't mean that breast cancer doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that colon cancer and ovarian cancer don't matter.
Right.
It just means that this is the particular subject that I'm talking about right now.
Right, but to some people it looks like Black Lives Matter and nobody else matters. Like,
of course they want to take it. Of course they want to take it like.
How about we all matter?
No, because we all do matter, right? However, we all don't matter when it comes to the judicial system. We don't all matter in how we look and view each other because I'm judged by a different set of rules than you're judged by. And I'm judged by, and you're judged by a different set of rules than other people are judged by. Because it goes to that natural fear. So when it comes to Black Lives Matter, like it's an idea, it's a concept, it's not a group, there's no membership, there's no login and password that you get to be a part of the group. No, it's an idea that Black lives should matter the same way as white lives matter. And they don't.
Okay. Now can we move on to slavery?
Yep, we can go on to slavery.
So when I was doing my show on ABC, the whole Donald Sterling thing. Are we also on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole Donald Sterling thing broke where he's whatever. We don't even have to repeat what he said. But it was my hottest show on ABC, and people were calling in, and it was mostly black people calling in, and they were blaming a lot of this on slavery, on white people. Donald Sterling. This is how white people have looked at black people for years. So one black dude in particular called up at the end of the show. He said, "I am sick and tired of all these black people calling up and playing the victim. Slavery was 50 years ago, 60 years ago. It's time to move on. There's a guy in my gym. We call him Old Man, a black dude. He hates to be called the N-word. He goes bananas, and he says the same thing. He says, man, my great was a slave. Like, what does that have to do with us?
Okay.
Now.
Okay, so we just talked about segregation and all that, right? So here is the thing that I truly believe, right? Is that is being a black man in America more difficult than being a white man in America? Yes. Do I believe that at this point in time that there is no reason for you not to be able to achieve your dreams in this country? That yes, sometimes you're going to have to work harder or be twice as good, but there is no obstacle that should be able to stop you if you have
absolutely
perseverance and all that. However, a lot of times it is harder and more difficult.
How did you do it?
In terms of athletics,
were you born in Tennessee or out here?
Tennessee.
Okay.
So in terms of athletics, I mean it's the majority of the time it's a meritocracy, so it's merit based. So either you can run fast, jump high, or whatever, or you can't. But
I disagree with you, because if you weren't the athlete you were, I still think you'd be doing what you're doing.
Probably, but it has afforded me opportunities to do it more easily. You know,
okay.
It's easier for a performer, professional athlete to get on TV or be on or get a job writing about sports because you did it. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's easier to do that. But in terms of everything else in life, though, when you are... Oh, actually, hold up. Let's go to this for a second. Is that the idea that people have, and that this myth... Oh, well, we're actually talking about the Michael Bennett situation in Las Vegas, and where he got the guns drawn on. He said he got the guns drawn on him by the Las Vegas police.
We saw that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He was on the ground.
Yeah, and that he said he was racially profiled and all this, right? And so that's how we got on this discussion about slavery and about reparations, about Black Lives Matter and racial profiling.
Just slavery. So in your mind, every day, do you think about, when you see a white guy, you think, shit, anything to do with slavery? This guy's great-grandfather might have been a slave owner. Like, does that even go through your mind?
No, and it doesn't go through most black people's mind. It is more when the times when you think about, I guess it's more institutionalized racism and overt, I mean, like covert racism, than it is, you know, bluntly. Like for instance, I forget, I think it was in Oklahoma, where that helicopter pilot.
Virginia.
No. When his wife shot the helicopter pilot, when his wife shot the black guy who was just changing his tire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the helicopter pilot is all the way hundreds of feet in the air, and he goes, "Ooh, that looks like a bad dude."
Yeah.
How the hell does he look like a bad dude because he's black standing up there?
Yeah. But that was in the South, right?
No, well, Tulsa. I think it's in like Tulsa.
Those are some hillbilly motherfuckers that, you know. That, but going back to the whole slavery thing, so let me give you an example. I have a set of brothers. Their father was probably the biggest bank robber in the history of California. So one brother turned to drugs, and he made this kid drive the getaway car when he was 12.
Yeah,
it's a fascinating story. Maybe they'll do a life story about him. So one of the brothers became a huge drug addict, lives on the streets, wants to be the victim.
Yeah.
The other brother is a psychologist in Santa Barbara making $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
So one decided to do something about it, and the other one doesn't want to be the victim.
Yeah.
So that's what these guys were saying. The whole Donald Sterling thing, when all the black callers were calling, and there was older, mostly black callers that were calling in. They were saying, like, stop, get over it, stop. That happened so many years ago. Are there racists in the world? Absolutely, 1,000%. But when do we move on? When is it time to move on?
Okay,
Jews moved on from the Holocaust.
So to move on, though, right? There has to be some sort of admission that these things happen, and that they're not, and that they are some kind of way still ingrained in our fabric, in our DNA as a country.
Because I think that once Black America lets it go, like, so I don't know how you let it go, but I don't know how to.
All right. So if I go and your son Juju.
Yeah.
If I treat Juju poorly, right?
Yeah.
And I treat him like a dog, right? What would you as a person need for me and you to get on a better page?
A talk, a discussion.
Yeah, a talk,
Yeah,
a discussion,
yeah.
and for me to admit my behavior and change my behavior.
But
right?
I wouldn't think that you're treating Juju in a bad way because he's white and you're taking it out on him because he's white. That's how some people think when it's the other way around.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, there are times where people are treated poorly just because assholes are assholes, right? But then there's also the idea that that there is some inherent bias against black people. Like what we talked about with baseball, where I've been profiled and everybody's upset and everybody's scared if George gets mad, as opposed to if the other coach gets mad.
Was that with?
And no, well, it actually happened on two separate occasions.
With that same guy?
No, it happened once at North Valley.
Okay.
And it happened at Northridge.
Yeah, I know that the black dude can't get mad. I know. I sit on the board over there, so.
You're like angry black guy, and everybody's afraid of you. And it's like, come on, man. I have not had a violent incident in my life. So, and some of these other people have.
But you know who ruined that for you over there, right? John Williams. He had it like 3 incidents in a row. By the way,
wait, hold up. How did the black guy ruin it?
No.
But
I agree. No, you're right. But I'm not telling.
That is the idea right there.
Yeah, but it's not my brain that we're talking about. It's them. Like this new guy comes over to Northwood Little League. He's getting in fights with coaches and managers. He's a black dude. There's 3% black kids that play at Northwood Little League. And by the way, let me just say that I'm the only coach that has had a black kid on my team every season from when I got there when I was 5. I was thinking about that.
You are a social champion, Joey.
See, I'm not racist.
Oh my God, I had a black kid on my team.
I swear to God,
I don't think that you're racist, but I'm just saying
I'm in the boardroom over there with
Yeah.
the other managers and coaches. You'll be surprised why they don't draft black kids. I swear to God, because they think the dads want them to be superstars and they put them above the team.
See, look, there goes that inherent bias, right? Which is,
But John Williams did not help that cause.
okay,
He's
you're
not
talking
watching,
about
right?
one person. And no, hold up. So you're talking about one person.
You coached with him.
Yes,
It wasn't easy.
I didn't have any problem coaching with him.
No, maybe because of your size or whatever, but
I just didn't have any problem coaching with him because, okay, here's the thing, is that when you have people on the board, right, who you said you've heard these conversations,
Yes.
right, is that speaks to the inherent bias. So there are white dads who do that, right? Mm-hmm. So why doesn't that ruin it for all white people? So let's not draft the white kids because
but you don't have a choice over there.
But that's what I'm saying is that you have somebody had a negative experience with one person, regardless of whether it was valid or not valid, right? Somebody has a negative experience, and then all of a sudden it's, oh wow, you guys are ruining it for the black guys. He ruined it for the black guys. One person? I mean, that doesn't even. That is exactly where.
But that's the whole grandma thing that we were talking about before. When the girl went on a date with her, she grabbed the purse.
Yeah.
This guy, John Williams, there was a reason his son was picked last. His kid wasn't the worst player in the world. Wasn't great.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to deal with that headache. So, this is just what I'm thinking. So, I know what you're saying. They coupled that. Who did you even have the argument with? I don't remember.
I don't know.
John Williams had it with that guy, right? That I talked about.
Yeah, correct.
But I don't remember.
It was a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, okay.
Okay. So the next thing I want to get to is the doubt in Michael Bennett's story, right?
Okay.
It's just like the doubt that people said with Adam Jones in Boston. He plays for the Orioles. And no.
Adam Jones. Sorry. No, before I thought you were talking about Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So I take that all back. Oriole fans, no, Adam Jones, I like him.
Yeah.
When somebody called him the N-word, right?
Yeah, and
in Boston, oh my God, can you believe it?
Yeah, and people were saying, "Oh, we need to hear this on video. We need to see this on video that this actually happened." And I'm sitting there like, it's Boston, and you think that this didn't happen?
Wait, I disagree with you on this one because right away. Like, he got a standing ovation the very next day, because sometimes you have to consider the source. Adam Jones from the Orioles is not a troublemaker. Yeah. So Adam Pac-Man Jones before.
Yeah.
Okay, so if this was Adam Pac-Man Jones, it's a great example.
I would actually think that it happened to Adam Jones. I would think that somebody would be more likely to call him that because
well, did they say did Bennett say they called him the N-word or no? No, okay, that never happened. All right, well, that's good. But Adam Jones from the Orioles, I think, has more respect and more grace with the public, so people took his word for it, and he got a standing ovation the next day. That guy was kicked out of Boston. But Michael Bennett, like I said, it could be true, but I saw all the tweets yesterday and all the stuff on social media. Everybody, it's like all of Black America ran to his defense, like it's all racism. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the suspect fits exactly his description.
It could. He could be.
And Michael Bennett wasn't complying with the orders. Hey, just wait. Hold on. We got
reports. So what would you do? I mean, there are shots fired. You are afraid for your life. You are afraid for your life at the moment, right? Where like police claim that they're afraid for their life all the time.
Mike Tyson, God, who did he fight? I was covering that fight. Frank Bruno, I think. And there's a huge I saw Alonzo Mourning run outside. Yeah. Like, that was crazy. But
yeah. So you as a civilian are afraid for your life, and in theory, you should be more afraid for your life in these dangerous situations than police officers should be, right? Because they are trained to be in these situations.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Michael Bennett's not protecting anybody other than himself. The cops have to protect everybody.
I know, and I applaud cops who do it well because it's a tough job. But I'm saying that you have to look at Michael Bennett's shoes. Is that he was scared. Okay. And then when it came to the situation of the police kind of confronting him, that makes you even more scared and terrified. And then when you think as a black man, when you have an interaction with the police, it can be scary. Like for instance, me and Damon, we went to an Angels game last year.
That's his son, Damon.
Yeah. He was 10 years old at the time. We went to an Angels game last year.
Right.
I got pulled over leaving not too far from leaving Angel Stadium. So I had to pull off the freeway, pull on, and I was terrified because
you're the only black dude there, probably.
Because I was looking for where there was like a gas station or somewhere lit that I could pull over.
He's in the wrong part of town.
And he told me to pull over. He was like, pull to the right. And I'm pulling down this street. There are no houses on one side of the street. There's houses on the other side. All the lights are out. No damn street lights. So as I'm pulling over, I'm like, okay, I'm in here with my son that may give me a better chance.
Oh my God.
So I roll all the windows down in my car because my windows are tinted dark. So I know that police officers can wonder what's going on. So I'm like, I rolled down the windows just to begin with. Roll down all the windows, hands up, like literally, just you're not being afraid that I'm reaching for anything.
Right.
Like, so hands up. And I should not be, as a citizen, a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, terrified when I have an interaction with the police, because I'm sitting there with my son leaving Angel Stadium, and I'm sitting here. The only thing I can think about is
not in front of my son.
God, please just don't let this go bad.
Okay, so the fear is, I think okay, I can understand that, but did anything bad happen?
No.
Okay, good.
No, but I will tell you this, that in the last 2 years, year and a half, 2 years, my interactions with the police have been significantly more positive.
Okay. Also, you're a big guy too, so they tend to. Well, you're more positive in your case, but cops love to fuck with the bigger dudes, always, especially big black guys.
Yeah.
So I understand your fear, but see, like nothing came out of that one. Especially if you're in Anaheim, you're the only black. I don't know what you'll find first: a black dude at an Angel game or Queen Latifah in a dress. I mean, if you watch the Angel games, I never see a black dude in the crowd ever.
Yeah. It's not exactly the.
Oh my God! Never.
Well, because I mean, it's kind of like you don't necessarily see as many Hispanic people or Latino people down at the Angels games either. They're Dodgers fans.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, they're Dodgers fans. You know, it's kind of like that. I'm a Dodgers fan.
No, but the Yankees are winning 7-0. That's if I'm going to lose my feed, it's good to know that. All right, hold on. While we're on the subject, hold on. Let's see if I can get back to Facebook Live here real quick.
Your Facebook is right there, bro.
Where is it? Okay, please come back. Resume. There we go. Okay, we're back. All right. I have a question for you. This came up. If we could change the whole
Okay, go on.
thing. Okay, so the you're a former athlete. Gary Sanchez of the Yankees. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. They're up 7-0. Yes! And you know I cursed the Dodgers. You know about that whole thing, right? Heim curse.
That's garbage.
2-16 since I've cursed the Dodgers for all the shit these Dodger fans were giving me. Anyways, so what is your thought on this? Did you see the fight with the Tigers and the Yankees?
Yep.
Okay. So my favorite player, Gary Sanchez, our catcher, love him. He's on fire. Hits 3 home runs in 2 days.
Yep.
Hits one, his first at bat. Next one, he wears one on his hip. Doesn't do anything. Runs at first base, and then the game gets really ugly. They're throwing at each other. So then the brawl starts, and Gary Sanchez sees his teammates tussling, whatever, and he gets down on his knee. Boom, gives one to Miguel Cabrera.
Yep.
All right. Goes and hits the third baseman. I forgot the kid's name. Uppercut third baseman. So I have a friend here who's a diehard Red Sox fan. He says that Gary Sanchez is the biggest pussy in the world, cheap shot artist. Where are the rules if you're in a brawl in sports? Are there rules like you see your teammate fighting with somebody? I told him, dude, if me and you are at a bar and we're getting into a fist fight, you'll be the first one to run in the parking lot. Like, do you think those are cheap shots?
Okay, look. In sports, right?
This is in sports.
First of all, it's already hard to get professional athletes to fight each other because they change teams so much already. So it's hard to fight somebody who could be on your team next season, right? Or that was on your team. So it makes it hard to fight those guys unless you're like
it's not like the old
Bryce Harper and
the Giants do,
or the pitcher that he had on his team, the one he got in a fight with in the dugout.
What's his name? The relief pitcher for the Red Sox.
Yeah. So anyways, it makes it tough to fight your teammates, right?
I quickly forget.
Yeah. But
somebody tell me that Red Sox relief pitcher's name.
It's
please.
A fight, bro. Like it's a fight. I mean,
thank you. So you agree with me? This guy's like, oh, because I made a big deal about the Red Sox cheating. What do you think about that? Did you see that whole thing?
Yeah. I am 100% in on stealing signs in baseball.
But not with your phone.
Exactly. But I am 100% out on using technology to steal those signs.
Yeah. Now I know you don't like Little League. We go back and forth on that. Both of our kids play travel baseball. But now in Little League, they instituted a rule that if you're caught cheating, like stealing, so there's a runner on second base and he's looking into the catcher stealing signs and he gives like a code to the hitter that a fastball's coming, the manager gets ejected. Right
There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that in baseball.
No, that I agree with. You could steal signs.
Yeah.
But you can't do it. You can't have your freaking Apple Watch
but
the video feed.
Yeah, but if you have some dad out in the outfield,
Toronto, they do that. They do that in Toronto.
Zooming in, trying to catch signs, that's dirty. That's where the line crosses, because part of the beauty of baseball is that there is the signs, there is the pageantry, there's the detail.
You're almost encouraged to cheat in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the third base, the coach on third base, or the managers or coaches that are in the dugout giving signs to the catcher. They're like...
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah.
There's a reason why they're doing that.
And there's a reason why the catcher's shading it, from the third base coach.
If you can figure it out, that's completely fine. However, when you have to go the Patriot route, and I was not surprised that this happened in Boston because
what's up? What are they drinking in Boston? All the cheating that's going on over there? Like, I don't understand.
Hey, they love championships, and if it is...
What do you think about Belichick?
Belichick is a master. He's a Jedi.
But is he a cheater?
Yes.
Okay, what about the Deflategate? Was that a big deal?
Yes and no. So yes, because it is against the rules or whatever. But here is the thing that makes it a big deal, right? Is that the Patriots fumble, right? Like there's no magic way to hold the football that Bill Belichick knows that other people don't know.
Legarius Blount went nuts that game.
Yeah. So it was something like during like the previous 7 years that the Patriots had only fumbled like 100 times, and then the next closest person in the league had fumbled like 190 times.
Really?
So, yeah. It was some crazy like
that year?
No. Like previous year.
Okay.
So at the point that the Patriots fumbled like at an outrageously less rate, because it's easier to hold on to the football if there's less football, if there's less air in it. So it has clearly had some effect on the game. Because the bigger, more pumped up the football is, it's harder to.
But they're both using the same football.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I play with my footballs. You play with your footballs. So the quarterbacks make the footballs how they want them.
Right. Aaron Rodgers does it.
Yeah. He likes his more pumped up and all that. So here is where the NFL got it wrong. Right, is that no matter how Tom Brady likes his footballs, do you know who's in charge of making the footballs the way they are?
The referees, right?
No. The equipment managers were. So they decide how much, like the quarterback has like.
Yeah, the equipment manager. Yeah, those guys got in trouble. Yeah,
30 balls.
But I think the referee, they don't have to run it through the referee at the end.
No, in the beginning.
Okay.
And and then they used to put them all in the bag, and then the team brings them out,
right,
and all that stuff, right? So that's what used to happen. So Tom Brady, he can say, I like my footballs flat, pancake flat, but unless the team does it, then it's not going to be like that. And Bill Belichick, how would you describe his attention to detail and intricacy?
He's a mastermind.
Do you think that there's anything that goes on in that stadium that he does not know?
No, he knows everything.
So it's kind of like the steroids in baseball. Everybody up top knew what it was. So the people who were most in on it got least affected, which is Bill Belichick, the equipment manager, and the team. Tom Brady took the brunt of this. Like, he was their scapegoat.
Well, he was the golden boy.
Yeah. So Tom Brady shouldn't have been suspended. It should have been the team that took a big hit as opposed to Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a genius, but I think he's gonna be, you got to put a little asterisk at his name for the Super Bowl they won.
With the
what's it called? That one?
Spygate.
Spygate, yeah.
Yep.
So, but I think he's the best coach in professional sports. But why don't they use?
No, I'm going with Greg Popovich.
Oh, I love Popovich. Okay, those two. Like, we'll save this for another day because I gotta go soon. But Phil Jackson, the most overrated coach of all time. And we won't do the whole Laker thing. Oh, I'm going to Vegas this weekend. Congratulations! You want to tell everybody how you guys did?
Yes, championship.
Tell them who you got.
Our PBA team.
Didn't they all win? Riggs messaged me and he said that they won every age group. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I keep up with the 12-year-olds and
that big dude that coach on your team.
Yeah,
what's his name? Steve, I think. The big guy.
Garen.
Yeah, nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Him and Coach Dave are super nice.
So we're going to Vegas. So I'm going to Vegas this weekend. I'm going to take $2,000 and put on the 76ers winning over 42 games.
God, dude, you might as well give me that money.
You're saying they're not going to go 500?
No, they're not going to go 500.
Oh, here's the difference now. If Embiid gets hurt, let's say he gets hurt.
Oh my God.
Dude, we still have Simmons, Fultz.
You haven't seen two of these dudes play.
Trust me, from what I saw last year when we went 11-5 in January. Trust me, it's the easiest. Go to Vegas, sell your car, put the over on the Sixers winning 42 games. I think it's 42.5, but I'm going to drive around a little bit and try to shop it. And no, I'm not a Royals fan. I saw some people writing questions about that. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, but I was wearing this to prove that I draft black kids.
Man, get out of here.
And we won. Right. We won the Pirates.
Yes, we did. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Unafraid, right or wrong. We will be back.
Ebony and Ivory. Are we still on?
No, we're going off the last thing, so you can turn yours off.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope